Hello, Emma.
And I'm Si.
We're full beam in lockdown, and as you can tell, we haven't had an isolation haircut, have we? Those of you watching outside the UK, because I know there's a couple, an isolation haircut is where you get a skinhead, where you get your hair all shaved off. A lot of lads have done that, but
Yeah.
we're battering the hair gel and the clay.
See, a lot of lads have done it, but it's gone very, very badly.
Yeah, because the missus and the girlfriends can't cut hair, and you just found out.
And that's what I'm really conscious of, and Al is conscious that at his age, it might not grow back at all.
Mine will go back, me, don't worry. That's one thing I'm not worried about this hair. Okay, then shall we start? Today we're going BMW shopping. So Si got rid of his M140i. He's going to explain why in a second. And I was on the lookout for replacements, just to be awkward. So Si, do you want to explain why you got rid of the M140i in a nutshell?
Yes, it was rubbish in bad weather, and we were offered a voluntary termination, so we took it and bought the X3. Then as soon as we bought the X3, we obviously fell in love with it, but then we realised that we needed two cars. So we started looking. Well, my wife was looking because the second car was ideally going to be for her. So she started looking at minis, and then I used my powers of persuasion and said, "You don't want a mini. We might as well stick with BMW. We might as well stick with Halliwell Jones because they've been absolutely amazing with us." So we actually looked at getting another 1 Series, and that's where we are. I don't want to go into all the ins and outs, but before lockdown, we'd chosen a BMW, just a 118 M Sport, just a nice little run around. And Halliwell Jones we never actually signed anything with Halliwell Jones, so we could literally walk away. So
that's what you decided to do, because you've got to bin off the. What did you do with the 135?
No, just the 118 M Sport.
Right, okay. So you've got to decide you're not going to get that now. You're going to get something else. So you've got 3 options, haven't you?
Yes.
This is where we're going to go shopping now, peeps. So this is exciting. What's your first option, mate?
The first option is the BMW M135 X-Drive.
Just in case you're wondering, people, as Si's talking, I've been looking at photos on my phone. But we're putting the photos on as we're talking, so you'll see them. Okay, carry on, Steve, sorry.
Yeah, so the BMW M135i X-Drive. Now, a lot of our listeners and our audience are going to go, "Oh my God, Si, you just talk nonsense because you've slated the new 1 Series. You've slated the M135i because it's got rid of its USP. It's got rid of its unique selling point, which is it's a 3 litre, it's 6 cylinders, it's rear-wheel drive. They are its unique selling points. A real driver's hot hatch. No other hot hatch as the rear-wheel drive and the 3 litre and everything else. So to me, it was ruined. It was gone. I've got rid of the M140. I would never go back. I'd have to go into something new. And I've been quite vocal about that. I've also been quite vocal about the looks.
Go on, you okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've also been vocal about
get the angles right. Angles. Go on.
It also looks more like built up. It looks higher at the back. It looks more wagony. It almost looks more like an A-class than it does a 1 Series. But logically, this is in my 3 options because it might be the easiest to get, if you understand me. We could just say, we don't want that 118 M Sport anymore. What would you offer us on a 135i X-Drive? And it might be next to nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. You could walk into one of them tomorrow, just sign a different set of papers. I don't know. But what got me to put the 135 in this list was I actually saw one in its natural habitat. I saw one on the road and it looked incredible. It was all black. Everything was black.
So I was laughing there. What's natural habitat? Is that the middle class enclave of Southport?
We don't get many around yours, that's all I'll say.
Excuse me.
And if they are, were they purchased legally?
Nice garden, this, mate. Just, I was somewhere nice now. I used to, but I do now. Come on.
He's sat in the only room in his house that hasn't got barriers on the windows.
That was my old house. Yeah, go on.
I was being funny there, Al, but you did pick up on it, so well done for that. But it looked brilliant. You could tell from 100 foot away that it wasn't just a bog standard 1 Series. It was low to the ground. It was squat. It was aggressive. It had big chunky wheel arches. It looked totally different. So even though I've slated it, the top one, the 135i in black, looks brilliant. Now the photos that Al's going to put up on YouTube are actually of what I would spec.
So you'd spec that gold round the grill and all that?
No, that's standard on the yeah. So on the new M Performance models, the accents are like a bronzy goldy.
Right.
So you'll notice the same when we come further down into the list, Al. But those accents show you that it's not just a normal M, or not just a normal 1 Series. Sorry.
Okay. So, it's a bit blinky, but I don't mind it.
No, it's not overpowering gold as in an old school brew. It's a very subtle kind of goldy, bronzy colour. But the outline of the grille is in that accent. I think the wing mirrors might be in that accent, and there's a couple of little air vents on the front bonnet, on the front bumper, that are also that colour.
Right.
Another thing that sold it for me is that the interior of the new 1 Series, across the range, the new interior has had just an unbelievable revamp. You wouldn't even recognise it from the M140 that I had, and that's only 18 months, 2 years old. The interior, it's got the brand new infotainment system, it's got the brand new dash layout, it's got the bigger screen. The front sport seats are just brilliant. The front seats are fantastic. I think it's got a digital cockpit. It has been totally revamped, so it's falling in line now with the new 3 Series, the new 4, the new 5. The X3's got the brand new interior as well. The X3 now has got the same interior as the top of the range 5 and the top of the range 7. So they have BMW have really, across the board, they've totally revamped their interiors, and that was a bit of a bugbear for car lovers. The BMW dash was always good. It was always like functional, and everything was always where you wanted it, but it didn't have that luxury of like a Mercedes interior. They've really upped their game now across the range, I think, anyway.
Just pick that bit about the Mercedes, mate. You froze there for a second. It didn't have the luxury of a Mercedes dash.
Interior, yeah. Mercedes are known, aren't they, for all the mood lighting and all the soft leather and the soft touch materials and things like that. Yeah. BMW were never really in that bracket, as far as I was concerned.
Mercedes have gone berserk lately. I saw one. I can't remember what model it was, but it was a night time outside the shop by ours, and the driver was sitting there. I think his missus went in the shop, and it was all lit up inside. And the dashboard was like an old cinemascope screen. It was just from one side of the car to the other side.
Yeah,
I was like, "What's that?"
They've gone too far, mate. They have gone too far.
It was a bit much. You're putting off your driving.
Yeah, I think BMW needed to step up their game and revamp, and they really have. Like the X3 interior is phenomenal, and the 1 Series interior was pretty basic. So for me, what?
I think it was basic.
The 1 Series was very basic.
You got me. I've had old cars. I had a basic interiors of life. That wasn't basic.
Well,
no, I call basic anyway, but.
Let's say basic for the price that you're paying.
Oh, okay, right, fair enough. Then,
yeah. Okay. Your Fiesta has got more as standard than the 1 Series.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. That's what I meant. And I'm paying 2-3 times more.
Yeah.
And you're getting more as standard. If I wanted a touch screen, or if I wanted DAB or mobile phone
connectivity.
What?
Did not have DAB, no.
You can get DAB and DAB Plus. It all comes as a package, mate. You get like the driver's package, and you get so many things.
It's not standard then, no.
DAB might be, but DAB Plus might not be.
Okay. Let's see what I think about it then.
Yeah, go on.
Well, first of all, your old M140, right? You talk about the seats in the M135. Still, my favourite thing about your old M140 were the seats. I have never sat in more comfortable seats in my life.
Really?
And I'm including car seats, seats in the house, settees, train seats, beds. That passenger seat and the driver seats, like I've driven it, haven't I? Those seats in the M140, it was like sitting down and you couldn't feel the seat. It was like being hugged by a fluffy cloud.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
It was just, and I was like, this seat, I could just die happily sitting there. It was lovely. So it's got to be as good as that. Like, you look pretty good, but it's got to be as good as that. They're the best seats ever. Looking at the grille, I love the grille. The grille's it's different for a BMW, isn't it? It's, what do you call that, honeycomb pattern? I think.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, with the gold on it. The gold's not too ostentatious. It's a bit more like bronzy, goldy.
Yeah.
It's not blinky gold, which is quite nice. I think the shape, it's great at the front, great at the side, and then it loses it at the back. I think it just loses all sportiness at the back. The back's too chunky for me.
See, I saw that, but you haven't seen one in its natural habitat.
True, yeah. What do you mean I just haven't seen one? Doesn't matter where it is, does it? What's its natural habitat? Its natural habitat is a BMW factory, mate. It's not Southport, all right?
All right, mate. I am being funny. You know, I'm trying to make our audience laugh, you know.
I can hear them laughing from here. It's hilarious. Yeah. But if you say it looks better in real life, then yeah, maybe it does, mate. I just think, from the photos I've seen, I think that's not the old M140.
It's totally. I agree. But the one that I did see, I got straight onto the phone and I rang my wife and said, on your way home, you've got to go down this road. And she was like, why are you being stupid like that? No, on your way home, you've got to go down this road. There's an M135 there and it looks incredible. So it was so good that I actually had to ring and say, on your way home, make a detour. Wasn't for a Ferrari or a Lambo or a McLaren. It was for a 135.
Right, okay. So that's that one. The only thing I would say about that is, do you want to do the cons all together later on, or do you want to do the cons as we go along?
It's up to you, mate. However you think this will flow better.
I think I'm going to tell you which one you should pick at the end, and tell you the reasons why you shouldn't pick it at the end. Okay. So what's your second choice?
Second choice is a BMW.
Before you start the second choice, what have we done? People, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. There's a little button down there or down there. It depends which. I think it's here. Little square, full beam on. Just hit that and you can subscribe to us. And don't forget our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We're at Full Beam Cars. Thank you. Sam?
And also, we like thumbs up. We like thumbs up and comments as well, don't we, Al?
Yeah, likes, subscriptions, comments, just interact with us. Say hello, whatever.
Absolutely.
Tell us how much you are here.
Yeah, and if we get 100 subscribers, I'll shave us off.
Why is it always me?
Because you've got less to lose.
Because I like mine shaved off before, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I went to Paris for Chris, I had number one then. Imagine that.
No way.
I've got a photo on the Facebook. I'll see you afterwards. Well,
bet you look dead hard, didn't you?
Good. Yeah.
If we get 100 subscribers, I'll shave Al's head, and in the back of his head, I'll write Full Beam.
No, you won't. No, you won't. You won't.
Anyway,
what's your second choice, man?
BMW M2 competition.
Okay. Crack on.
Okay. So again, the pictures that Al's putting up here will be how I would absolutely spec this car. This car can only be in black. It can only be in black or black. Black grille, black wheels, black outside, black inside. It's just all black. It's the only way.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, this, I love this car, and I don't love this car. It's really, it's hard. If somebody said to me, "There's an M2 competition," I'd be doing cartwheels down the road. But do I want to fork out £50,000 to £60,000 on the entry level M model? And I've also seen plenty of reviews and watched plenty of videos, and people that have driven it have gone, this BMW M2 competition is so good that it would beat an M2 and M3 if it was given the technology that the M2 and the M3 was given. So it's the M3 and the M4 was given. So it's not got a limited slip differential because that would increase its power and its handling, and we'll put it right up there with the M3 and the M4. Now, I've been here before with the Porsche Cayman. The Porsche Cayman S was a 911 killer. Fair enough, it might not have been a 4S or a turbo killer, but it was certainly a basic 911 killer. And Porsche dumbed down the Cayman S, so it fitted just within their niche.
Right.
And you could tell that you were driving something better than a Boxster, but you could tell you were driving something that could be better than a 911, but was being withheld. It was being held back. And paying £60,000 for something that you're not getting the full experience of might ruin it for me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment, like below. Am I being daft? Is the M2 the entry level M? So it should be less powerful and less fast, less quick than an M3 and an M4. I don't know. It's just a little niggle that I've got.
It's understandable, mate.
Yeah.
About the looks and practicalities of it.
The looks from the front, I think it's one of the best looking cars across any make, mark, model, manufacturer. The front of the M2 is just incredible. For the size of the car, its bonnet is huge. It's got huge air scoops and grills and little skirts and lips at the front. The wing mirrors are my favourite wing mirrors, again, across all manufacturers. If that was sat on your rear bumper and you were looking at that through your rear view mirror, you would just think, oh my God, that is, you know that is a special car just by looking at it from the front. That's why it looks so good in black. Then when you move around to the side, I starts dropping off. I'm going to be totally honest with you. My love for the look starts going.
I'm the same with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And again, its front and its side, well, its front proportions are spot on. Its side proportions start to bother me a bit. But then when I get to the back just loses me completely. I'm not sold on the rear light cluster. I'm not sold on how small the back end is. But again, if it was any bigger, it'd be an M3. So I really think the M2 suffers because it's being forced into a niche.
Yeah.
It's had to be smaller than the M3. It's had to be smaller than the M4. So that's compromised on its looks. It's had to be slower than the M3. It's had to be slower than the M4. So that's compromised its power. But just, if I walked into a showroom and somebody said, that's yours, and I looked at it from the front, I would go, yeah, fine. No problem. Take me money.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt, mate. It's it's a great car. And if somebody gave me one, I'd be more than happy. But for me, it's all about looks again. I'm shallow like that. Like I said, front's brilliant. Front looks great. I really got that front view. You talk about those wing mirrors, and I've never been a massive wing mirror aficionado, if you like. But those wing mirrors stood out to me, and I never noticed them. They look like bats' ears, or the way they're sculpted back into the body again.
Yeah.
Looking at it now, it reminds me a bit of the McLaren logo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it just looks so cool. Go on, sorry.
But again, BMW being BMW and being perfectionists, if you look at the top arch, the top arm of the wing mirror, doesn't touch the body of the car.
Yeah.
So it doesn't reattach back to the car, and that aids airflow.
Ah. But from a distance, it does look like that, doesn't it? It looks like they're going back. It looks like a pair of ears. But I know what you mean. Yeah, it didn't quite make it back. But yeah, cool. So the front's very good. I love the wheels. Wheels are lovely.
Yeah. They're special competition alloys as well, then.
Lovely, yeah, mate. Really, really nice. Yeah. And normally I don't like all black cars. This just has to be. It suits it. Yeah. I have a problem with just 2 Series as a whole, really, because it always looks like a 3 Series that's been rear-ended. It just looks like someone's gone.
Yeah.
I don't like the shape at the back anyway. Although I do like, and you said the rear cluster lights, they're nothing special. But I do like the quadruple exhaust. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, but that's again that separates that from an M performance model. So an M performance model is like the M140 or the M135.
Yeah.
They're not full on M cars, but any full on M car, and I mean anything across the range, even the SUVs, the X3, the X4, the X5M, they all have quad exhaust across the range. So you know you're looking at a proper M car.
That kind of, for me, that kind of saves the back end. You're looking at it going, no, not special. Oh, full exhaust.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of saves it, do you know what I mean? So it would be a great driving experience. The interior, now, we know the interior is not up to, you say it's not as modern as the 135 or what we're going to look at next.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this. Is that quite quaint? Is it endearing because you've got proper dials, not the what do you call it? Not LEDs.
Digital.
Yeah, not digital. They're actually proper dials. It's a proper speedo. It's a proper rev counter. It's what a dashboard should be. It's nice and it's like sort of endearingly old fashioned, or is it just old fashioned?
Yeah. See, that's a good point. It's not the dash. It's the plainness and the blandness of the seats.
Right.
It's got really, really basic seats in it. Why is the M135, which is only a performance model, got massive big sports seats, almost all in one molded sports seats that wrap around your shoulders and everything else? And the M2, the actual M car, has got these basic leather seats in it.
Yeah, but you still said they're basic leather seats. Leather seats are never basic.
But it's a 50,000-60,000 pound car.
Okay, but for that, leather seats wouldn't faze me at all. I'd be like, ooh, leather seats, because I've never had leather seats. So that would be like a luxury for me.
Okay, but for your the way you look at things and all your design and your arty farty fancy stuff, it's got black seat belts with the M colours stitching down the side of the seat belts.
Just say that again, you just went a bit Dalek there. So what's about the seats again, sorry?
It's a seatbelt, so you've got a normal black seatbelt, but down the edge of the seatbelt, you've got the M colours hand stitched down the side of the seatbelt.
Oh, that'd get me all giddy, that. I'd love that.
You know, I knew it was, that's why I mentioned it, mate.
Oh, yeah, I'd be more than happy with that. I'd probably crash the car, because as I was driving, I'd probably be like having a quick look at it, like that. So it probably wouldn't be good for me, that. Okay, so what's your next choice, mate?
Next choice is the new Z4.
Yes. That's just, oh God, I love this car.
And more specifically, the M40i, of course. Go big or go home. You can see a trend here with the cars. They're all black, and they're all the top ones. So I'm not looking at a 220 or a 120 or a Z4 2-litre I. I am talking, let's knock the 118 Sport on the head and let's go big or go home. Let's get an M135, an M2 competition, or a Z4 M140i. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So, this Z4, mate, just carry on. Say your bit for now about it, and I'll just come in later on and just infuse about it. Go.
Well, this to me is the car. Okay, this is what I am. This is what I'm working on, Wendy. With I'm not working on the 135 or the M2. I am working on this, and if this fails, then I'll go down to the M2 and then go down to the M135. But this is what I've set my sights on. This one, out of all of them, I've got one con for this. One con. The rest are pros, and the biggest pro for me is just look at it. Just look at that. That's a Z4. Look how far we've come from the very first Z4 that looked like a rhino that had its horns removed. The Z4 is, or was a terrible, terrible thing. It's so bad that I would have picked an Audi TT over one.
Wow. And you hate Audi TTs?
I know. But just look at that. There is not one bad angle or bad. There's not one bad view of that car. And it's a Z4. It's just everything you could possibly want. It's a 3-litre, straight 6, twin turbo roadster and a stunning roadster side profile. The front is incredible. The front is just, happy days. The back, 2 big exhausts on the back, a little ducktail. Spoiler on the back of it. It's got the same sport seats that's in the brand new M135i, and it's got a soft top. It's not got no hard folding roof. It's got a soft top. Just give me.
Right, I'm gonna go now. Yeah, like I said, I just love this car. When you see the photos of it, you'll understand why. It's just beautiful from every angle. It's so well designed. The back, how good is that back? Oh my, that back, it's so well thought out. It's the little ducktail on the back. I can't think of where it stays. I'm still half asleep, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? To boot. The lights are so. The lights are very subtle. The rear lights are very subtle, but you know.
Most versions on the back of the 8 Series, mate, and you love the 8 Series.
Yeah, I do love the 8 Series. I do, mate. Yeah. The front, the wheels. They're great wheels, and the blue calipers are lovely.
Yeah.
God, yeah, they're mean. The badge looks great in the back. Even with the hood up, it still looks pretty good.
It does.
That's tough with a convertible, isn't it? It tends to, once you put the hood up, it tends to spoil all the lines.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. And that front, look at that front. It's like, if you saw that and you just get out the way.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to go past you so you could look at it.
And listen to it.
Yes, exactly. One of my lifetime's ambitions, I've never told you this, is to certain roads I want to drive down, and I would love to drive down the Pacific Highway in California. But I've always wanted to pick the right car to do it in, and that could be it.
Oh, Al. Controversial.
That could be it, mate. I mean, that's be convertible because it's California, but I'm trying to think, what would they do it in? And it could be that one. It could be that.
Wow.
Right, I mean, let's go through the what you think you're going to buy now with the cons. But first of all, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, please, and hit the like button. And don't forget our social media, Twitter, YouTube now. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at 4Beam Cars. Thank you. Okay, so I'll tell you which one I think you should pick. Okay, you should pick the Z4 because it gives you an experience that you haven't had, an experience that you haven't got now. So you don't need. It's all the practicalities about getting the baby seat in the back, but you don't need that because you've got your X3 for that. If you've got your family stuff, you've got family driving, you've got your X3. The Z4 gives you something totally different. It's a roadster, it's a convertible, it's a car that you and Wend and we hope can enjoy. Do you know what I mean? It's something that you haven't got now or you haven't had for a long time. The M135 is too similar to the M140. What's the point of it? Although it looks great and it serves your purpose. You've got the X3 for that purpose, right?
Yeah.
The M2, the looks lets it down, but it'd be an amazing car.
Yeah.
But I think the Z4 just gives you more of more of an experience, if you like. Go ahead.
I think you're right, Al. Like I said at the very start, the M135i would most probably be the easiest to get into. Like I'm talking the easiest for everyone. For me and when you could walk into Halliwell Jones wouldn't have to do anything other than like most of these print out some new papers and go, right, you've gone from a 118 to an M135i, blah, 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 blah. Your monthly payments have gone up by this much. Rip them papers up, sign these ones, you'll be in it next week. So out of convenience, we can maybe get into that one quicker and easier than we could the other two. I absolutely get your point about the X3. So the X3 and having the X3, totally mitigates the need of having to have a hatchback or 5 doors or space in the back. So the X3 totally gets rid of the need to have either the M135 or the M2. The M2 competition for me is, again, a really tough one because it looks great. You can say you've got a proper M car, everything else, but there's a big con for me is the actual original M2 sounds so much better than the M2 competition, and I don't know why that is. There's a short, only a 50-second video on YouTube. It's called M2 versus M2 competition, and Al can link it into the description of this video. Just give it a listen. It's a bog standard M2 with a stock exhaust versus a standard M2 competition with a stock exhaust. There's no comparison. I don't know why. The M2 competition has 20 or 30 more brake horsepower. It's quicker to 0 to 60, but it sounds worse. Go figure. Not sold on the back, not sold on the interior, okay? The Z4 M40i ticks all the boxes. Exactly like you said, Al. Totally different driving experience. Being in a roadster or a two-seater and being so low to the ground gives you a totally different experience anyway. It's got everything that you could possibly want. Its looks are stunning. The interior is fantastic. It's got a soft top roof. It's got everything that you could possibly want. It's even got ISOFIX points in the passenger seat, so you can put a baby seat in it if you wanted to take the baby out for a little blast around, I don't know, whatever, or if she wanted to go in it. So that is doable. So you've got the functionality there as well. You can put the roof down to get the baby in and out from the car seat. Again, really clever. My only con for the Z4 M40i is that it only makes, and I say only, makes a crackly, poppy, burbly noise in sport mode. I'm not saying it sounds rubbish in its bog standard comfort mode, but you only get the real noisy exhaust when it's in sport mode. And do you want to be going everywhere in sport mode? I say no now, but when I was in it, then yes, I most probably would go. I'd go to the end of the drive in sport mode, most probably, so it's not much of a con.
To be honest, mate, if that's the only con you've got, it's not bad, is it?
That's what I mean. It's the only that is the only con. The only con is that I want the exhaust noise in every driving mode. And I'm not saying that I'm going to drive the Z4 in economy mode. I don't even drive the X3 in economy mode. That's a no-go. And a straight 6 3-litre engine is going to sound great anyway, regardless of what mode it's in. It's just you get the real bop, 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 and the pops and the crackles and stuff in sport mode.
I don't know. I think that it's not bad that it really does it in sport mode because it makes it all the more special then. If you hear that all the time, wouldn't the effect wear off eventually?
Yeah.
The fact that you only get in one mode makes it more special, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. The soft top, again, means that there's no mechanical bits in the boot, so you actually get a fair size boot. Again, I've seen a comparison video, and you can get a collapsible buggy in there. You can get a set of golf clubs, a weekend bag, some shopping in there. So it's got a decent sized boot because it hasn't got all the mechanics of a hard top roof. So full beam, go BMW shopping. Full beams purchase. Hopefully, fingers crossed, when lockdown lifts, is going to be a Z4 M40i.
Yes, love it.
Yeah, all in black wheels with the oyster cream leather inside it.
Oh, that just sounds like a dream. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
And then we'll have to strap the GoPro on, and we'll have to go and do a walk around when the dealerships open up.
Oh, definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's it. We're buying a Z4. Well, I'm not. Size buying a Z4. So everyone, thanks for watching this. It's our first video back since February. It's been a long time, mate, hasn't it? And obviously the lockdown's been a bit tough for us all, but we've worked out how to use Zoom. So hopefully there's going to be a lot more of these videos now. Just us talking, but we'll be interesting and funny. We make you laugh. Don't forget about us on social media. Again, please just get in touch with us. Follow us, like us, subscribe.
Yep.
So there's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we're at Full Beam Cars. You can also subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, here. And that's it for us for this time. Hopefully back next week. Bye from me. Side say bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See you soon, peeps. Good night.
Bye.